Jorge Masvidal has been in a scuffle with Colby Covington.
Thank you.
Do you want to lay out this timeline, or do you want me to take a shot?
Have you watched? Have you seen the fight?
I can condense it real quick.
Highlights.
So, quick things to know: Jorge Masvidal, Cuban gangster from Florida. Colby Covington, white guy who plays the race card to get views. They fought recently, fought 25 minutes. Colby dominated the fight. Jorge, who's a striker, was not only outstruck, but completely out-wrestled. It was said and done. Jorge Masvidal has said in the past that his best punch is his sucker punch, and his second best move is his 50-yard dash, because real gangsters don't square up with people and say, let's go outside and fight like men, because that gets you shot, according to him. He says you sucker punch people and you blindside them. So sure enough, he tracked Colby Covington down over the weekend, and wearing a disguise, a mask, and a hoodie. He ran up behind him, hit him twice in the face, and then ran off into the night. And then went on social media and admitted to it. So now he's under arrest, and he's probably out on bond by now. But I think it's aggravated assault and something else. Scumbag. Scumbag. Yeah. Like what I don't like about everybody's like, oh, that's what happens when you talk about somebody's family. Is it? You go assault them in the street? Well, all right. Well, maybe it is what happens.
For what it's worth.
But you know what happens next?
Family, the timeline's important.
Yeah.
Colby talked about Masvidal's family before the fight, to pimp the fight, to sell the fight. I think it was March 3rd was when he did it. And you know, they say he talked about his kids. I'm a little confused. He didn't talk about his kids very much. He said that Jorge Masvidal pimped out his wife or something in a way I barely understood. I don't know. It was convoluted. But he definitely talked about the guy's family, his wife and his kids a little bit.
Yeah.
And he was trying to make him mad, and he was trying to get fans to want to watch the fight. Right?
But isn't that something that people agreed to, like in the beginning? Like, say, yo, all right, no.
So at a base level, there's always going to be a little something. There's going to be like, he thinks he could take me? No way. I'm going in there. I'm going to dominate. I'm going to make him look like the bitch he is. That's like a level 2 like heater. Yeah. But like that doesn't get anybody going anymore at all, right? I'm like, you always say you want to dominate people. Tell me for me, I'll watch it for the mixed martial arts. I really will. I don't need like the story at all. I usually fast forward through that. If I can. But for a lot of people, I think they need that wrestling crowd. They need to know why Colby Covington doesn't like Jorge Masvidal. They need Covington to throw out that racist dog whistle. They need to know that he's one of them, even though he's not. They need to see him wearing the MAGA hat and be like, all right, he's our team. And we got a brown guy that he's making fun of. This is perfect. This is perfect. This is exactly what WWF was with when we had the Iranian whole thing with guess who bring out the Iranian fucking Iron Sheik and guess who's gonna face off against him? Hulk fucking Hogan, living in America. He came out with an American flag. The Iron Sheik wore that headdress and everything. So
don't insult his religion, Kyle.
But doing that and sometimes it's completely fabricated, and sometimes it begins as fabrication, but one guy goes so hard that the other guy's real issue is the things that his opponent has said during the buildup. He's like, I never had an issue with you before we started pimping this fight, and you started saying these awful things. Now I do hate you. Now and sometimes it goes like that. But then there's instances like Conor McGregor where he just would say horrific things as soon as he decided he wanted to fight you, or maybe if he knew someday he might want to fight you, he would go ahead and plant the seed of not liking you.
So they fought. Colby Covington beat him in the octagon. If the fight was 25 minutes, I want to say Colby looked better for 23 of them, something like that. And I
didn't watch it.
He absolutely dominated the fight. No one had any question that he won all 5 rounds. There's not a media person or fan.
At the end, Colby was like teeing off from on top. And like when he got up, Colby's gas tank is fucking
huge,
incredible. Yeah. Colby could have kept going as if they done round 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It ends with Masvidal dead. If they just keep rolling the rounds out until somebody's dead or somebody taps, then then Masvidal either taps or dies. Like one of those things happens. You know, if we're going to the death, then Masvidal's going to die tonight. That's how
it gets worse for him.
Yeah. But yeah, he committed a crime.
And Dana White does not like it when his fighters get in fights outside of their fights. That was phrased weirdly, but yeah, he doesn't like it when people get in street fights. He's held it against him. I can name fighters. Well, I can think of fighters that he's ditched for it before. On the other hand, when it's a guy like Conor, you know, business matters, and he kind of looked the other way.
John Jones in DC went at each other very heavily. You know.
Yeah, all he had were some harsh words, and he in that particular one, he used it in the fight promotion. He's like, "You guys never do that again." And then they're like, "Come see John and Daniel fight." The guy throws a shoe at him.
Yeah.
Do you think Jorge Masvidal will get in any kind of trouble for sucker punching Colby Covington?
With Dana, will it affect?
Yeah, with Dana. I'm sorry, that's the key.
No, I don't. I don't think he will. I think that Dana will call him an asshole, an idiot, and everything in between.
Right.
But inevitably, Dana White's a businessman, and it's not going to matter. It doesn't matter what these guys do, as long as they don't do anything that's unforgivable by the fan base. That something repugnant. Like you can't. Sexual crime would do it. If you beat a woman severely enough and she complained about it, that would do it. But you can't just be this nonsense where like John Jones slapped his wife and they saw the bloody lip and then she was like, "Fuck you, I didn't say nothing." Like that doesn't do it. I'll still watch John Jones fight.
There was a lesser known fighter. I can't remember his name, but he had just been he sort of got a push on The Ultimate Fighter, right? So you can imagine how new his career is. He's had one
brand new
fight. Yeah. And he didn't get into a fight, but he kind of bullied and manhandled a valet, and it was captured on a casino security cam.
Yeah.
And Dana's like, "The fuck? You're not even famous yet, and you're already an asshole. You're cut. You're cut before after your first fight or before your first fight."
Makes sense.
So it's like, all right, you do that. And then you picture Conor, who's undefeated in the bar scene. And it's a bar and hotel lobbies. He's getting win after win. And
you know, I don't think anything he's done is really like a turn off to anybody. Like nobody sees that and thinks, "Oh, I'll never watch him again." I think less of the UFC because they employ a man who punched an older gentleman in a bar one night. I think less of them because they employ a man who enjoys a bit of cocaine and fucks whores. And it's like, God damn, he sounds cool. Like it's all I hear. It's like, wait, you telling me that like because what you'd expect, right? Everybody's like, "Oh, I want a darker hero. I want an anti-hero. I want a Batman that kills people." All of a sudden, your professional athlete is slapping old men around when they get mouthy, and "Oh, that's too rough for me. I want be nice, Conor. Get a charity." Fuck that. Conor got a reckless driving charge and a $180,000 Bentley last night. He's got another one. Like he's been barely pounded his fucking car. He's got 3 or 4. That's
counterpoint.
And they blood tested him clean. No alcohol or drugs.
Okay, I didn't know that. Counterpoint. I've heard Dana say, "Man, we work so hard to make the world think you guys aren't just a bunch of thugs and savages. They call it human cockfighting, and we do everything we can to make this a sport filled with professional athletes. And you assholes go and get in bar fights. You people are beating up valets. Do you know how many times I've been on ESPN saying these guys are cultured civilians? And then you do this, and then you prove them all right." He hates it.
I think they've rounded the corner on that a little bit, though, because they're on ESPN now. They're not calling it human cockfighting. It's in New York. They're expanding all over the world. The fan base has a lot of ladies in it now, a lot of young people in it now. There's celebrities every night at the events. He can print money at the UFC facility now because he sees the numbers that he can get by just doing it right there. He can just print money no matter what the world does or it doesn't matter.
You're saying he holds the event in a UFC building and makes a ton of money.
Yeah,
because the expenses are already covered. Okay,
yeah. They own the fucking building. I think the UFC's in a different place from then. I think he's fine with it because he sees the pop that it gets. The reason I know who Jorge Masvidal is is because of 3-piece and a soda, because he attacked another guy named Leon Edwards, who wasn't in a fight with. But I was okay with that, and I'll tell you why. Because Jorge stood there and like put his hands behind his back. It was like, oh yeah, and the guy approached him, and they're jawing at each other. They're squared up, and the man's hands are behind his back. The fact that he leads with a punch and doesn't say "defend yourself,"
it's hilarious. I don't require his hands behind his back. Like, so he's talking to Leon. He has his hands behind his back, and then he like sucker punches him and he hits him. But to hear him tell the story, it was like he was handcuffed. Like, my hands were down. There was like, he was coming at me. I had to defend myself, so I hit him with the 3-piece and a soda. To me, Jorge Masvidal is the dude who beat up Ray Ray back in the Kimbo Slice days. Like, have you seen that fight?
I've probably seen it, but I don't know the guy's name.
You might enjoy it. Ray Ray is a guy, if you were to look at them next to each other, Ray Ray has clearly the better physique. Jorge Masvidal is a little bit skinny back then. The young Jorge. And but then you watch him throw and you're just like, fuck, this guy, he's accurate. He's got cardio and he's getting hit too. Ray Ray's no joke. Ray Ray's a good fighter. Ray Ray beats up any two of us at once. But Jorge Masvidal is a professional fighter, and slowly but surely he started to turn into tide, and he's just getting more hits in. And Ray, you can tell, wants to quit. Like, he gets knocked down or something, and everyone is like, "Get back up, you can do it." And he's like, "Okay, I'll face another ass whooping," which he does, and he loses until it's like everyone is like, "Yeah, you can stop now." It's a good fight. You should.
I don't know what's going to happen here. I think that what will be interesting is I really hope that Colby presses charges, civil suit, anything he can, like go for blood, like go for the throat. I hope he drags this out. And the only problem is that with legal stuff, if you're smart, you speak about it in public. But I think that if like Colby
hasn't.
He's getting his tooth fixed, dude. Like his tooth is out. Is what everybody's saying. Like it knocked.
I heard broken. Out. I don't know what to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I imagine they're the same, but broken in half, and now some of it's gone. I don't think he wants to be on camera until his tooth is fixed. It kind of sucks. Last time he lost a fight, his jaw was broken, so he couldn't even talk shit afterwards. And like immediately after this, he's like missing a tooth, so he can't really go on camera. I think that's what's happening. That he's like getting that fixed. And I bet legal counsel is saying, say nothing.
That's my
say thought. Nothing. Like right now, he's over there admitting to the crime on TikTok. You have said nothing. Your story can be whatever it wants to be whenever we want to tell it, based on however much stupid shit he's going to say on TikTok. Let him run the line out. So I hope that's the case. I really hope that's the case. Because I'm liking Jorge less and less. That's so shitty.
So in the world of fighting, it can be a bit of a bitch move to like sue over getting into a fight. The man move would be to be like, you know what? Let's you and I go into the octagon again. I don't care if I get paid or not. We'll go into freaking Joe Lozon's octagon. He'll host the fight. We'll do whatever. That's the manly move. But Colby Covington is a heel. It is, him like, I hired a Donald Trump attorney. This is the same guy who served the president of the United States. The greatest president we've ever seen. And
Masvidal would be so fucked if he got a billionaire team of attorneys.
Does Trump even get the best of these? What, he's going to hire Michael Cohen? So, but it would be funny. That would be more in character for him to be like, my attorneys are going after him.
He'll be petty and
be petty, be dirty,
Look, don't forget, the whole reason that this happened is because because Colby went after the man's wife and children, and we couldn't remember exactly what he said about the child, but it's not as if he hasn't gone after other people's children directly. I mean, I remember what he said about Poirier's kid. He doesn't give a fuck.
I don't remember what he said. I watched
it. That was Connor's kid. He was like,
Dustin Poirier.
He was like, your son, whatever his name is, Christopher, like whatever the fuck. That ain't your kid. That's Connor's kid, and that Jezebel wife of yours. And it's like
Conor McGregor told Dustin Poirier that he had slid into his wife's DMs.
He did.
So now,
and then he showed the screenshots proving it.
I need to see them. I didn't.
Yeah, but there's nothing like inappropriate going on. They're just like talking, but it's still like, God damn it, why are you talking to Conor?
Yeah, I agree. Honey,
don't talk to Conor McGregor. How hard is that?
How hard is that, you bitch?
Yeah.
Can you imagine having to tell either of your wives, like, I have one fucking rule: you don't slide into Conor McGregor's DMs. That's it. That's my only rule.
And you have broken it.
So when Colby talked shit trying to get a fight with Dustin Poirier, he kept referring to Dustin's kid as Conor's kid.
Yeah.
That his wife had actually fucked Conor McGregor, and that's whose kid it really is. Which is rough. That is child. That kid has to go to school. People might say that to that kid. Like, it blows.
Yeah.
When he talked about Jorge's family, he said this is his real wife and that he somehow whores his wife out to get in with a manager. I couldn't follow the story. He's like, everyone says this is Jorge's wife. It's not. This person over here is Jorge's wife. That person is someone else. Jorge's wife is now being whored out for this solution or whatever, and you're her pimp. And I didn't follow the logic. I couldn't even tell who his real wife was.
No.
I just know he's talking shit.
I think that's his goal, is for you not to be able to tell who his real wife is anymore. You're like, so that maybe somebody's like, is this your real wife then? Yes, it's my real wife. Who said it wasn't? Well, Colby actually said that she was, I'm not sure what word I want to use. It's to put him into that situation, I'm sure. It's just mean shit that he makes up. He's a mean bully who I can't tell how quick he is on his feet, because he's one of those guys who memorizes and writes. Like he's, but that doesn't take anything away from him. His performance can be shaky. It's not
okay to show up prepared.
Yeah, he shows up overly prepared though. He has like a line prepared, and he'll stutter over it sometimes, and it's like, God damn it, you got to hit that. Like that's your line. That's, it's the one that you scream into the mic at the end. Like he'll fucking slip up on a word or something. It's like, come on, dude, you should have been in the mirror all week saying that shit. Like remember that scene in Reservoir Dogs where he's in there talking to the mirror about like gangster shit. It's like, you need to be doing that. You need to be doing that. You got to be practicing this shit. He didn't look good, but it's a fucking crime what Jorge did, and I hope he pays some like criminal penalties for it, because that seems wrong to me, to unprovoked like. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to be hypocritical. When Conor hit that old man, I'm not saying that's the right thing to do. It's just something that I think is okay. Because what I'm hearing is that old man refused a free drink in Ireland in a bar from a fellow Irishman.
That's what I would do. If Conor offered me, I'd probably just try to be polite.
We'd all take it, right? We'd all take it, right? Can you imagine if he was like, hey, I bought a round of drinks. I know you didn't take one. They're free, friend. I'm Conor McGregor. Ha ha. See, it's my bottle. I own this whiskey. And if you were like, no, thank you, I don't want one. I don't drink. It's like, you have a drink in front of you, though. Yeah, I like this drink. I don't want your drink. It's an insult. It's an absolute intentional insult. It's what it feels like. I bet he's the only one in the bar who didn't want a free drink from Conor McGregor. He's a fucking national hero over there. They only have so many. It's Ireland. It's
one probably.
Like one. I think they're like the size. Atlanta has like 5 million people in like metro Atlanta, like out in the suburbs or something. Like, I think that's how big Ireland is. Probably.
Doubt it. I'm gonna look it up. That seems like a valid guess.
I bet it's like 7 million people over there or something like that. Hey, Conor McGregor offered any of my alcoholic friends in Ireland.
5.
5? Yeah.
5 million people.
It's about the same as like Atlanta and most of the suburbs. Come on. If he was from here and he'd be a god. Like you couldn't turn down like.
What would he offer you? You wouldn't take a peach from a Coca-Cola. That's what
Atlanta population 6 million.
Conor McGregor offered you a Coca-Cola, you'd have to take that bitch. Like, you'd be like, no, I don't want it.
I would take the Coke. I mean,
I would take
sugar-free.
If Conor McGregor was like watching you take a shot of his whiskey, would you like? Because I guarantee I would be trying to be like, I'm gonna have the coolest, most like just shot. Like, I can taste the notes of. Oak, maybe
absolutely
peach?
Be like,
is it?
I'm getting a lot of pine barrel and rust.
Ooh, that is a lot of ethanol. Like that's alcohol.
I haven't had his whiskey. I hear it's like, mid-tier whiskey.
I bought it like a year ago or so, and it is Yeah, I don't know whiskeys or
That's
like
the other thing,
that shit at all, but it was like the most forgettable, middling, like whatever. This is fun. I think I only had like one drink of it with like ice in it, and then I was like, I'm just gonna put soda with this.
I don't know the details of the deal he made, but he sold the company, or at least a substantial piece of it. He's still featured, however, in all the advertising, and it still has the same like deals with the UFC and ESPN. So it seems like I would imagine he's still reaping benefits somewhere or another. Like I doubt he's just a paid spokesman.
He's pimping it for some reason. He must be motivated to do something.